back to another video brought to you by L Productions, and I'm totally glad and grateful and excited too that you're here to, chit chat with me, listen to a bit of what I have to share on the topic why you need to leave your hometown and why it's gonna be lonely at first, and definitely why it's okay to be lonely. And do not get scared or frightened, but here's some pointers as to why you need to take the plunge, why you need to leave home, and what to expect, and a bit about not to give up when you feel lonely. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so I have my tablet with me here. I made 4 pointers as to why you need to leave home, and then another 4 pointers as to why it's okay to be lonely. So for me, I left home at 17. That's when I started college, at 17. When I started college, I was commuting, but in my second year, I lived on Hall. Big up Hall A, the Acropolites. If any UTech people are, on my channel right now. But yeah, I lived on Hall during my second year. Well, from the summer of first year actually. And living on Hall, I just had so much experience. This was the first time I was living with strangers, which now became a family for me. And then after living on Hall, it was maybe my third year, that's when I lived off campus. And then after leaving school, I had gotten my apartment. That's where I was living at right up until forever. So what am I saying all this to say? When I left home, home is where home is comfort, home is familiarity. Everybody know everybody in your hometown. Like for me, where I grew up, my community was so small. It was a very rural town in St. Andrew, very country like you wouldn't even know the place they on the mom, right? The community was so very small. Everybody know everybody. Like you're there on the road, everybody knows say Pookie belongs to Mas John and Mr. Bennett young son is Jason, and you just know. If you're breeding at the community, everybody know who are the father. You're not even have to be embarrassed for talk. Like everybody just know. You get me? I say the community is just that small. Everybody know everybody. You got shop, Miss Betsy shop down the road. She knows say alright, she gonna give you a bag of things, and you compare a weekend. It's just like everybody know which part you live. When you go on the bus, the driver literally know everybody stop, because he knows say Mas gonna go come off your so it's like you don't even have a call bus stop. Well, unless you're coming off before your usual destination. But you get the gist of me I try to say. Now, why you need to leave home? First point, point number 1, it's just for a fresh start. Yes, for the how much teen years of your life, whether it's been 20 years, 17 years, 18 years, 25 years, whenever you take that step, you need a fresh start. You need a fresh start. Getting out of this area that you have been born and raised, you don't know nowhere else. You've never lived anywhere else. You've been going to the same supermarket, the same store, the same thing every time. It's just a little minimum room for you to grow, because you're just in that same loop, that same rotation, the same routine, day in, day out. So you just need a fresh start. The second thing here I have is independence. Independence, a big one in my opinion. when you live at home, you're under your mother's roof or your dad's roof, your parent, whoever you're living with, your aunt, you're under someone else's roof, which means that their rules apply. Now, if you have a mother like mine, she'll make sure to remind you day in, day out what those rules are. You see me? My mother wants to set curfew. Like, lady, my grown. Come on now. What you mean? she sets a curfew, she doesn't want you to be out at any odd hours, what else? She expects that you're gonna do this, that, and that exactly how she wants it. And that was my mom for me. I don't know if it was you're experiencing that with whoever you're living with, or maybe your home situation is probably more freeing. But as I said, I was still a teen when I was living with my mom, so it was, a bit different. So independence, you need to go out on your own. You need to know what it is like to have your own expenses. So you know that you have to be a bit more responsible. You have to budget better, because rent early, light, water, internet, the gas. Oh, you think it's a joke thing when people are talking about, say you pressure your peas and ready for cooking rice and peas and the gas just lock up. Hey, girl, been through that. Not around you. So I mean, to better budget, say I have a backup cylinder because that 1 year soon done. Or if you got sick like that, so an electric stove. People never experience electric stove till I come off in. Never know about that yard. What you thought? So I mean, you get the gist of what I'm saying. You have to proper plan what your expenses are gonna be. You're now an adult. You have to be more independent in your choices, more responsible with how you allocate your funding, and know that hey, you can't go dance and have nowhere for live, or you're out a road party and drinking and your lights are gonna cut off tomorrow because you spend the money on the liquor. You understand? You see me? So that teaches you independent. People were grown. We are clock some age there when we never know. What's so come off a calendar? What you mean? So we have to get it together. My third point is networking. I'm not trying to bash anyone or criticize or condescend anyone. I hope no one takes it negatively. But where I am from, where I grew up, the type of people that I needed to meet to grow and escalate and advance myself, them people that live and associate in rural St. Andrew where I grew up. That's just the truth. For example, I worked in as you would have known from my previous video, definitely go watch that one, guys. I was a financial services professional for 4.5 years. Them people, they do not congregate, they do not socialize, and they do not associate in that area. You're not gonna find them in my community, and I'm very proud of where I'm from, but it's the truth. Those class of people are not up there. They're not over on that side. They're not in that neck of the woods. You get what I say? So not to say that you should be ashamed and embarrassed about where you're from, but you also need to realize that where you're trying to get to, which is over on the other horizon, you need to put yourself in that space. You need to engage with others from that space, from that class, from that network. You need to get yourself into that circle, which means you have to step out of your hometown. You have to leave there for a bit to chase the dreams that are not on that side but over on this side. So in order to network with those people, you have to leave your hometown. You have to know what it is like to go to different events that are probably in New Kingston or in Barbican, or whatever city you're trying to get into. You have to take that plunge, take that dive to see what it's like over on that side. You get me? My fourth reason as to why you should leave home is because it gives you a different perspective. And this one, it really truly does. You see, when you leave home and you're now in another area, you start looking at life differently. You start realizing, back home it used to have to be like this, and now it's going this way. All right, so to give you an example of that, remember, I am from rural St. Andrew. No, you see which part we live in a little community there. What I can tell you now. I don't know if anybody knows Price Right or Chancery Street. Chancery Street is the correct name of Red Hills Road, but we call it Price Right. Now you see which part me live up on the hill there to come down to Price Right. You see, if you don't know the road, it will take you about an hour and little. Call it an hour and 30 minutes just to reach down on Red Hills Road. You see me? No, as a child, you see, like if my mother go to the supermarket and she buy snacks and me go boops and wax off all of my snacks them before, like, me wax them off from Friday, saying we not no more snacks for the weekend. My mother not go shop. My mother pride up this. My mother pride reach at the Evan Gates. My mother is not going to no shop. You see me? So if me eat off all of my snacks, then you know who got to wait till in one day in the week, my mother go supermarket and buy probably some extra snacks and come home. The point is, the perspective is that when you're at home, that was how long it took just for you to get to a major city. Remember now, that's just Red Hills Road. So 90 minutes to reach a Red Hills Road. Then the next 30 minutes to reach a Halfway Tree. And then if you're going to New Kingston, which for my mother was working at the time, that is it's just like a 2-hour journey, people. 2 hours, roughly. If traffic is on the road, a 2-hour journey just for her to get to work. Different perspective now when I left home in my apartment, from my apartment to where I was working, it was just 30 minutes to get to work, honestly. And if traffic is on the road, maybe 45 minutes. But I was not doing that lengthy driving that she had to do back in the day. So the different perspective as well, you have a little more appreciation for the commute. A little more appreciation for, the amenities that you have. For example, we never have the supermarket in that community. I did just shop. Whosoever shop, would you have a little shop? That was it. If you want to go to the supermarket, the closest supermarket was, as I said, roughly an hour and a half away. Real talk, come on, make it up. Roughly an hour away to get to the closest supermarket. Now, where I lived, I could literally walk, put my foot them, my legs us. Walk, put my foot them and reach at the supermarket. You had more access to things now that you moved from your hometown. And that gives you a different perspective. It makes you know that, hey, because I have more access, I can achieve more things. I can make better moves to my life. You understand? So those are my 4 reasons as to why I think you should definitely leave home. Leaving home is just, to me, it is the start of your adulthood. Because as I mentioned before, the independence, as an adult, you have to rely more upon yourself to get things done, to achieve the life where you really want to achieve. So now I want to move into the next segment as to why it is okay to be alone. You see me? First, that one here, stay tuned. First up, guys, you see, when you move from your hometown, it's a big step, It's a big step. And then when you move and you land at a new city, this new place, you're not gonna know everything all at once. You probably have to go rely upon Google Maps because you not even know where the supermarket they in your new community. You know, you don't have any friends in that area because you don't know nobody there. You just moved there today. You don't know nobody. You are still navigating, you're getting yourself situated in this new area. The weather is probably different. Probably back home it did colder. No, down here it's super hot. Like, you know, you are now adjusting. So the first reason why it's okay to be alone is because you have a clear understanding of who you are. What I mean by that is when you've moved and you're now in this new place, it could be a new city, like supposedly come from country like Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and now you're in Kingston. That's a move. Supposedly they're in Jamaica and you reach all the way at China. That's a move. You could have reached Canada, Russia, Ukraine. Who knows? I don't know. You know, it's your story. You get what I say? Wherever you move to, wherever that new city is, you're getting a clear understanding of who you are, because it's not no little willy-nilly thing you do. You just make one big move in a dog, like one big move to leave what you're familiar with onto something new. So you're learning more about yourself. You're understanding who you are, what you're capable of, based on how you're adjusting, you know what your strengths are, you know what you need to work on better. But at the end of it all, you definitely have a more appreciation for yourself, and you learn more about you. It's like you're coming into your own, you get me? The second reason is about what you know. So you see, before, when you were in your hometown with all the familiarity, you think you didn't know some things. Like for me, you would think say off the hill, because that we call it, you know, from like would I say off the hill is just busier, it's hot. You know, we would have so much things to criticize. But then no, when I moved down off the hill into the new, you know, my new community, I realized say it wasn't half as bad as how they made it out to be. So it's like you change from what you thought you know to what you actually do know. So that comes more into the that comes more to the fore. You get what I'm saying? You adjust to being scared, because most of the times we're a bit afraid because we don't have all the information. But as soon as we reach and everything is coming to light, you realize say, whenever need to be afraid of all of this, because now I come, I'm a see for myself, and it's honestly not that bad. You're seeing how you can make it work. You get me? The third reason of, you know, why it's okay to be alone, the third reason is you have to know what's right for you. And for me, that one here hit me like deep, because you have to figure that out on your own, what's right for you. Everybody, everybody from mother, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, friend, everybody are gonna come to you with what they think is right. And everybody are gonna have their own opinions. And those opinions are sometimes mixed up with fear. Like them afraid say, you're gonna start over and probably not make it out. They are scared that if you make it out, you probably can't go back home. They're excited, like they must say, yeah, you need to do it, because I know you can't make it. Then they're a bit jealous, like they must say, look at you trying to make it out, who you feel like you be. You get me? So it's like everybody has their own opinion, but you have to know what's right for you. And you can disagree, but I think in order to know what's right for you, you have to spend some time with you. Meaning, you need some space for introspect. You need some space for just be by yourself and meditate out for true. For me, I usually create a list. I'ma say, oh, like my circle it, I'ma say, oh, this are the goal me I try reach. When I need to get to the goal, I write down how much it gonna cost. Cause girl, watch our money. What I have? So you know what, girl, write down what I need to get to the goal. How much, if there's any cost associated with that, and I start plan it out, and then I look at it and say, oh, right now, baby girl, you know, say you not have it for reach that 1 year, but what can you do to, compromise, or what can you shift around to? You have to spend the time to look at your situation and assess for real, like, alright, if I make that move here, such and such gonna happen. If I take that risk here, this might be my demise. Am I willing to go through and make all those sacrifices? You have to. Nobody can make that for you. Nobody can make that decision for you. And if you allow somebody else to make that decision, whether it be good or bad, I genuinely think you're gonna regret it. Reason being, because if it work out bad, you're gonna say, Jaja, why am I listening to Mary? And then if it work out good and you're alright, you're gonna say, you know what, I should have think about this myself. You get, at the end of the day, it's gonna come back to you and why you were not the person to make the decision about your own life. Isn't it? And my fourth reason as to why you should be alone is because you learn to trust yourself more. And I think it is so important, because if you and I made a post about this on Instagram a few weeks ago, but if you trust others more than you trust yourself, you're always going to be reliant on others. Make that sink in for a little bit, because of fear advice me I speak over here. Real talk. I'm gonna say it again. If you trust others more than you trust yourself, you're always going to be reliant on others. And it's the truth. Because if you don't trust yourself, you're not gonna know your full potential, and you're not gonna know your full capability, and you're always going to be timid and reluctant in pursuit of your goals. And on one life we have to live. You're gonna make fear and your lack of will prevent you from probably accomplishing your biggest dream. And you don't want to live your life in the shadows, because basically we're getting old. I'm a 90s baby clocking 30. Like, come on. A real thing. Real thing. Real thing. Real thing. Truth be told. You want to trust yourself. You want to be able to be independent. You want to rely on yourself. You want to trample fear and go into spreading your wings and making the best of life, because we only have one life to live. And the truth be told, I don't want to say promise you, but I can really say, you see, after you leave home and after you be alone for that little small period there, get yourself situated, get yourself together, you just are gonna start blossom in ways you can't even imagine. You just are gonna see yourself a propel like up and up and up, because after you move, you get yourself situated, you're gonna start meeting people, you're gonna start networking. Probably you get to find out, see your neighbor work at the same place where you work, and you start going to places, you start seeing some hot spots, and you probably go at one event after work, a little one flex, and then you just start building and building and building, and then you meet a next person and say, all right, you have a friend over such and such company, if you need to make a little trade and transaction, you have somebody you can call. That's networking. But if you sit on a yard in the hometown where you're comfortable and don't venture out, then I don't know how you go tap into all of this wealth of knowledge and perspective and networking and all them nice things. I don't know how you are going to sit down in your yard and them things there going just happen. I don't know if it's working like that. So you have to get with it. You have to step out. You have to make those changes. And once you do that, trust yourself, bet on yourself, I guarantee you, you're not going to have nothing to worry about. But thank you so very much for stopping by. I truly hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely, you know what time it is. Give me a like, definitely share with your friends, subscribe to the channel for more content every week, and for sure leave me a comment down below. Tell me what it was like for you when you decided to move out. How did you manage all of that? What was the pros and cons of your experience? Share them with me, I'm here for it. But for now, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.